70% of the world's surface is covered by water. 11.5% of the Earth's 7 billion population fish recreationally, making it one of the biggest participating sports in the world. Scotland has a long and distinguished angling history, especially where it concerns fly fishing, and it has played a major role in the development of the fly rod and casting techniques used in modern fly fishing today. Scotland's network of rivers and lochs offer up a diverse variety of destinations for the local and visiting angler to choose from, and millions do so every year. Of course, we all have our own favourite places where we can escape the daily grind and indulge our fascination for this ancient and tranquil art. For this programme, we want to get off the well-worn path for a bit and experience some of Scotland's more remote locations. This won't involve any 2-day hikes or the like, but will be far enough out of the way to avoid the ever-present drone of distant traffic, a sound all the more noticeable by its absence. The season has got off to a bitter cold start this year. It's the middle of May, but it feels more like the beginning of March. I'm working my way slowly down the banks of the River Isla near my home in Aberdeen, and my hopes are not very high. So far this morning, the rain, hailstones and biting winds have successfully managed to render the water surface void of any insect life. But the odd pocket of sunshine lifts my spirits, and it's enough to bring on an occasional hatch of flies.
Move down. There's a nice trout just rose over there. See if I can cover it. There's a trout about a pound in weight there. That's it, the flies are just coming over its head now. Yes, there it is. I knew I would get it. That's a great thing, when you can see the trout rising, you can cover them. Get it onto the reel, play it off the reel.
Today I'm using a custom built 10.5 foot rod, rated for a number 7 line, and I'm working with a team of 3 flies. A blue dun on the point, a Greenwell Glory on the middle dropper, and a March Brown on the top dropper. 3 good flies for this time of the year.
Is it quicksand here? As I say, the thing is, always wet your hand as I say it, so you don't damage your trout. But it shows you what a healthy stock of trout are in here when you see this. And look at the condition in them, they're absolutely beautiful little trout.
As the rain begins to fall, my mind turns to the trip ahead. We will first make our way to the port town of Ullapool in the Western Ross district of Scotland's northwest coast. Ullapool was purpose-built as a herring station in 1778, and it's the largest settlement in Western Ross. From Ullapool, a winding road through Glen Achill will take us to our lodgings on East Rhiddorrach Estate, which will be our base for the next 4 days. The estate consists of some 20,000 acres of the most breathtaking scenery and a unique variety of salmon and wild brown trout fishing. From here we will concentrate on 3 fishing locations within the estate: Loch Achill, the Clar Lochs and Loch Dalf. For the second part of the trip we will be treading some familiar waters as we revisit Loch Lochy for a spot of boat fishing. Lochie forms part of the Caledonian Canal. It is 10 miles in length by about 1 mile in breadth. I will be heading off in the next couple of days and will be met by a couple of friends, Nigel and Victor, at our lodge in the East Rhiddorrach Estate. I am arriving a day early, so it will give me a good chance to check out the fishing before they arrive.
There are several things I'm looking forward to on this trip. I want to try out my new dapping rod. I want to cook some fish straight out of the water at the lochside. And I want to give the Land Rover a really good workout. I've heard from Scott that the access to some of the fishing is through some pretty rough terrain, so it could be really good fun. And of course finally it's just to chill out and have some fun and relax. I arrive at the lodge that we'll be calling home, pretty much on schedule. There's no sign of Scott or his red 4x4. I take a guess that he's already gone away fishing. Well, we might just park up and explore.
I had been fishing, but I'd also managed to get myself well and truly stuck in the mud by the banks of Loch Danth. So I have to walk all the way back to the lodge and get Nigel and Victor to come back and give me a hand to free the truck. It's a good thing Nigel brought his Land Rover.
This is the sort of terrain that the Land Rover excels at. It's real 4x4 country. Not all four-wheel drive vehicles are as capable, though, as the Land Rover. The access roads are quite rugged and stony, and there's a lot of boggy ground. Thankfully, Victor had arrived just in time to lend a hand. So it doesn't smash. At first the Jeep wouldn't budge, but with the help of Dave, the cameraman, that little extra push was all that was needed to set the Jeep free. It may be an idea to stick with the Landy for the rest of the trip.
The freeing of the truck had all seemed too much like hard work, and it would be a shame to waste such a beautiful evening back at the lodge.
There's quite a lot of weed here close in.
A serene atmosphere descends over Loch Danth as the sun slowly sets, and I can't think of anything else I would rather be doing. You just can't help yourself relaxing. The next morning we prepare for our first full day's fishing here on East Rhiddorrach Estate, fishing the waters of Loch Achill. Situated 3 miles east of Ullapool, it measures 2 miles in length and sits 265 feet above sea level. Back it in the boat. This loch is unfamiliar to us and we have no idea what to expect. The plan is to do some fishing from the boat and from the bank in no particular order, but we'll just take it as it comes. There's a nice chop in the water and the sky is overcast. Normally great conditions for fly fishing, but my main concern is the weather. It is still unseasonably cold and extremely changeable.
Here I am in the wee Healing Glen.
We set up base on the far bank and I decide to start off by giving Victor a few friendly pointers.
More powerful rods, so you need heavier lines to load the rod.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of...
Fly fishing is a pastime to be enjoyed, not endured, but can soon become exhausting both physically and mentally if your casting arm is falling off in agony. So the way you hold the rod is vitally important.
The correct way to grip a fly rod is it is with your thumb here like this. Nice relaxed grip. It's important that you relax when you're fly fishing as well. You don't want to be all tensed up, because at the end of the day you'll be sore.
With fly fishing, the first casualty of inexperience is normally the wrist on your casting arm. Start by positioning your thumb as illustrated here and relax your grip. This will improve your rod control and ease the strain on the wrist area.
As I say, this is a nice little light 9-foot rod.
Keep your arm stiff without tensing and your wrist in a straight fixed position. Also, try and keep the rod handle in line with your forearm. Tucking the rod handle into your sleeve can sometimes help to master this technique and keep your wrist in the correct position. The idea is to let the rod do all the work. It may not catch you any more fish, but it will keep you trying that wee bit longer.
That's a nice cast, but it's really windy just now. Well, this is me doing my favourite type of fishing. It's just traditional Scottish style drift fishing from a boat in a wild Highland loch. It's perfected in Scotland and Ireland. What we're doing is we're just drifting down the loch here. We've got what you call a drogue out here to slow down the drift in the wind. And fishing with a team of 3 wet flies. Just casting them in front of the boat as you're drifting down, hoping that you're going to pick a trout or 2 up. I would do this every day of the week if I could get away with it. Because the days when the trout are on, they'll live in your memory forever. Got some wonderful memories of fly fishing in Highland lochs with my grandfather and uncles and friends and myself. It's just, when I'm not fishing, I'm dreaming about fishing. I enjoy doing this. I mean, even if I'm not getting fish, just to sit here and take in what's round about me, the scenery. There's one, just a little tiny one. It's a little Highland brown trout, tiny little thing. Go and tell your daddy we're looking for him. So one tiny little trout in that drift, which is a bit disappointing, to say the least. Get the drogue in. I mean, that was an excellent drift, but it just picked up one tiny little trout. The boat was drifting beautiful, so I'm going to go across near the boathouse and try drifting up to this end of the loch. See how we get on.
We will return to Loch Achill later in the programme. The climb to the Clarlocks could be described as moderate, but by no means unpleasant. The surrounding scenery is more than enough to take your mind off any aching muscles. It goes without saying decent walking boots are a must, as the ground can get quite marshy in places. The morning mist is lifted by the time we reach the top of the hill and we get our first view of the Clarlocks. What grabs you is the silence. There is a real sense of being somewhere far away from the rest of the world.
The loch we're fishing today is one of the Clarlocks. There's a few of them just up here in East Rhiddorrach Estate. There's a bunch of them all in the one area, and that's what they're known as the Clarlocks. This is just a cast and chance technique. We're not actually seeing any fish showing, so we're just casting out and just retrieving the flies and hoping we're going to cover one. Ideal conditions is when you can see fish. There's one now, it's just a little one I think. Ideal conditions is when you can see fish showing, but when you don't, you've just got to persevere like this. but they're fine little scrappers. They don't like to give up easy. One little fellow. Oh, it's a way around my fly line. It says, you're not having me, I'm going back where I belong. Let's take the middle dropper, let's just see what fly it's took. Let my hand first so I didn't damage a little thing. I don't know what you would call this fly because it's just one I made up myself. Aren't they beautiful little things? The colours are just astounding. Blues and golds. The fly that one took, it's just a little badger hackle with a gold rib and a little black hackle at the back. The pheasant tail tippet. No particular name for it. If there is, I don't know. It's just one I tied up myself. Let me try it just a little bit further, see if there's anything further out there. Don't want it to be hammering the same bit all the time. That was doing what they call a single haul there. You unconsciously do that. There was a fish just roasting a fly there, there it is. You get him a little bit further out. You more or less unconsciously do that after a while when you're fly casting. To double haul with a team of 3 flies is you're asking for trouble, you're going to get some tangles. Just another little tiddler. It's always the big ones that get away. You never hear anybody saying, I just lost a fish about 4 inches long there. Nature's beauty. Just beautiful little things. Good picture postcard. You can see the single haul again, just to throw the fly line out. And the rod does all the rest. That was a little nip there, they're just taking below the surface. There's another. It's as if there's a small one just nipping it. There it is again, pulling the fly in. There it is. I could feel it nipping it, that was amazing. I could feel it nipping at the fly 2 or 3 times coming in there. That's why I slowed the cast down, just knowing it was going to take. That's one for that's the type of size Nigel likes to eat on his barbecue. And second thoughts, it's a bit small. I'll wait to get a bigger one, and I'm in the right tangle here, so I'm going to have to stop for a minute and reset up my cast. As I retie my cast, I spot Nigel across the water, indulging in a bit of dapping.
There's really, it has to be the most visual form of fly fishing. I think that people would argue with that, but to emulate so exactly the fly and the way it reacts and bobs around the surface of the water, just lifting off, dropping down. The floss is controlling it completely. The floss is going out in the wind there, a lovely arc, and it's just dropping the fly vertically down onto the surface. So it's not being dragged through the surface. That's really unrealistic. You never see a bumblebee swimming along the surface of the water. So it just drops down as if it's running out of energy onto the surface. Another one. They're just tantalising them. It's like holding a big carrot. Sometimes there, whoa! I had a good nibble at it. Did you catch that? It's quite handy if a wee bit of it's wet, as it gives a wee bit more of a signal to the fish as it breaks through the surface. You want to be real. There! And he's taken it. No, it's off. Just lower it gently onto the surface. Oh, wow. Did you see that? Clean out of the water. Lovely little, about 7 ounces.
truck has been left back at the lodge for a return trip to Loch Damp, considering what happened the last time. The road from the lodge to the loch is what you might call rugged, to say the least, but the Land Rover takes all this in its stride, and we are soon setting up for a full day's fishing. Nigel and Victor set off in one boat and I set off in another. Their hopes are instantly raised when I decide to stop the boat for a quick cast. As soon as the flies hit the water, a small brownie leaps at the flies and is instantly hooked. This could be good.
Is to follow through as well with your cast. See when you're casting your rod, you've got what they call loading your rod, and it's a flick, see it, and the line's got to go all the way back. Watch it bend in the rod, see it? Watch it flick the tip of the rod. That's what you call loading the rod. Now in your forward cast, you just follow through, see? Nice and gentle, follow your rod down. The rod does all the work for you.
Timing of that flick at the top is crucial.
Yeah, different rods have got different actions. You'll get a slow rod, a fast rod. This is a tippy action rod, it's very fast. I like a fast rod, it's my favourite.
The line you're using?
This is a Hardy line.
It's a floating...
It's a weight forward.
Weight forward, right.
It's not a double taper, this is a weight forward. It gives you that extra bit of distance.
Yeah.
If you're going to be dry fly fishing, actually, a double taper is my favourite line for the dry fly.
Why is that?
Just it's nicer, because you're not looking for a big long, you're looking for a nice, delicate presentation.
So it's good, quite a short.
And I find the double taper's the best, like. Aye. This is a nice slow drift. Just what we want. Here's one.
After our initial excitement, the second bite of the day is a long time coming. Nothing to write a postcard home about.
True, but these small brownies are perfect eating
Wild,
size.
nice, right?
And seeing as we're planning to have a barbie at some point, I decide to keep it.
Pan size, fine for breakfast. Is that breakfast size, Nigel? That's good. The fish is playing Nigel here. It's just a hit or a miss, this kind of fishing when you're not seeing any fish feeding. It's just a question of just drifting around and trying to locate one. Whereas if you come onto a loch and you see fish moving, you know exactly where to go. There's another one. That's a better one. Small one. This particular fly I've got on the point here, this is a fly that I made up last year. It's just like a traditional sort of style wet fly. It's got a claret body with a gold rib and a black palmered hackle and pheasant tippets in the tail, but what I've done different, I've got little jungle cock cheeks on here, and last year this thing was just working wonders on the lochs. Like, I mean, the trout that was taking was absolutely unbelievable. That was pulling trout when no other flies were catching anything. So I don't know what we'll call that. A jungle claret may be a good name for it. I think we'll call it the jungle claret. Jungle cock's quite expensive to buy, but it certainly does make a difference when you're fly fishing. As an attractor, it can fairly bring the fish on.
It's fresh air, it really gets the appetite going. Something I've always wanted to do is get the fish straight out of the water, knock it on the head, clean it and cook it right by the side of the loch. Aye. Because the flavour should be just superb. Stone out of the water. And I've got a wee trangie in my bag, a wee meths cooker. Got the fish I caught just about 5 minutes ago.
A lot of people don't understand why I don't eat trout. And I just love catching them so much. But it's like somebody else say to them, you love your wife, you're not going to eat her, are you? You know what I mean? It's the thought of me catching it, and then gutting it, and chopping its head off and cooking it, and then I'm sitting eating it. It sort of puts me off a bit. There was one. Oh, it's off again.
Cleaning is really very simple. A sharp knife, point in at the anal vent and just squeeze in the anal vent, and then just cut gently up the gut cavity and then right up towards the head. Nice clean cut just behind the gills, through the backbone, right through, and there off comes the head. And normally I wouldn't take the tail off, but because I'm cooking in the trangie and the trangie is quite small, to make sure I can get it in, I need to just take the tail off. So I'll do that. That's it. It doesn't take a lot of lighting maths. Just check that it's lit. That's it, well lit. And there's our little frying pan. One other essential ingredient that I brought, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil just to moisten the pan. Take trout, we'll sit him in there. Turn him over. Turn him over again. We'll cook him on one side for a few minutes and then turn him over. There we go. Oh, listen to that. Ah, it smells so good. Looks just about ready to turn. Let me turn it over. Oh, wow. Oh, perfect. These wee fish, they cook very quickly, but you need to just check that the flesh is coming off the bone properly, and the flesh is not translucent, and that tells you that it's fully cooked. So if we just open in there slightly and see if it's breaking away, it's not. It needs another few minutes.
I've got a slight breeze at my back here, and it's just absolutely perfect for casting. There's another one. So the trout are fairly coming on today. As I say, if we're going to the dry fly, if I could see them rising, but we're not actually seeing them. I've actually got 2 trout on here. 2 at the same time. Sometimes you get that, and very, very occasionally you'll get 3 on. That's why you think you've got a big fish on. I've got 2 on here. That's a bigger one than the last one there. And it's little brothers in the bottom. And the cameraman here saying Nigel's wants some to cook, so the best one's off and the smaller one's on, so I'm putting that back. I'm going to try and get some bigger ones for cooking. It's good fun when you get 2 on at the same time.
That looks pretty good to me. I think that is cooked. Let's check the other side. Yeah, that's beautifully done. So we'll take it off and we'll just let it rest for 2 or 3 minutes. And we'll take the trangie out. There we are. Now all we need are the hungry fishermen. Here comes Scott. Now Scott is not an experienced fish eater, so this will be very interesting. Let's see if we can tempt him. Just turn it back. Look at that. Is that not just beautiful? Absolute perfection. Look at that. There's a nice fillet there for you. Just have a taste of that. It's cooked to absolute perfection. You just take some of that flesh off and have a...
Should be really sweet and delicate flavour.
That is absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
Really like that now.
It's trout at its absolute freshest.
Want me to leave you some?
Please, yes. Wow.
Just melts in the mouth.
That is superb. What a flavour. Absolutely.
Get that other one cooked quick.
You can eat the small bones as well, eh?
Well, Dave.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, that's good.
That is good. Especially after a long day's fishing.
That is excellent.
Sha-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, said the monkey to the zoo. Come on, fish, where are you?
As the morning wore on, I became increasingly frustrated at the lack of action. Cast after cast was presented, but the fish were having none of it. There hasn't been any sign of activity, and eventually I begin to think it's time to give up and have a break.
This river that you see us on this morning is known as the Rapak River. It's a typical Highland spate salmon river. It's the most remote salmon river in the British Isles, so they say. I'm on here trying to catch a trout. I don't think anybody ever bothers coming here to fish for trout because it's so remote that nobody will make the effort to get here just for the trout fishing. So I really don't know what it's like. I don't know if I'm going to catch anything today or not. A bit wet. It's a bit wet. Oh. I've just got the feeling this is not going to be a good brown trout river.
Adrian hails from Brittany and he's working on the estate over the summer. He has asked us if he can join us for a day on the Clarlocks and if I could give him any tips to improve his fly fishing. By the way, I don't think he understands a word I say.
Too many false backcasts. No. You don't have to do all that. See? You'll find that's a mistake. When people start fly fishing, right, and they go to these fisheries with the stock ponds, it's all this false backcasting. See when you're going to us, watch what's happening. Any fish lying there, do you know what they're doing? They're away there and they're away there. So what you want to do is less false casting as you possibly can. If you just go to this one cast, right, then another one. That's it, the line's out there, you're fishing.
Yeah. Okay.
There's no need to keep false casting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying?
I understand.
Yeah. Lovely. You're a very fast learner. No, you're a very quick to learn. You learn very quick, that's good, very good. Yeah, there you've got a trout, look at that. Well done, Adrian. Good for you.
Back on Damp, I decided not to go back out in the boat, but to stay on the bank. The day wasn't going too well. Catching big fish has never been my number one priority, but when nothing is taking, it can be frustrating. Then again, that's why they call it fishing and not catching. And you just have to stop and look around to see why. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter.
There's one. Just another small one, that's what we'll be sort of hooking all day.
And of course, I would never judge a loch badly just because I've had a slim day. That would be missing the point.
Ideal place to bring a youngster or a beginner to fly fishing.
I would certainly be interested in returning to Loch Damp when the weather conditions improve. I am sure I would find the fishing much better. But I'll leave that till next year.
What's a touch? What's that?
On Loch Ackle, the afternoon slipped by at a leisurely pace, and we spent an enjoyable few hours fishing from the bank. It was great to see Victor's casting had improved. It was nice just to see Victor with a fly rod in his hand.
There's another one. Another for the Barbie. It's been round the rock. Oh, that was a nice trout, just came short to the fly there. I'll cast it again, see if it'll take this time. Get the line low and see if I can. That's right over where the trout showed. Let's see what happens. Yes, I got it. I knew it was there. I love it when you see fish showing and you can cover where they are and catch them. Taking on my jungle claret, fly of my own design.
Loch Ackle is a joy to fish from both boat and bank, and I must admit we've all had a great day today. I for one shall certainly return. Back on the Clarlocks we are still catching fish, although the takes are less frequent.
There it is. Just little ones again. That one took a middle dropper yet. That took a Cape McLaren, the little Cape McLaren with the jungle cock cheeks. Cape McLaren, yet. Very good fly for the lochs of Scotland or Ireland.
The Clarlocks had given us a lot of fun today. The peace and tranquility was inspiring. And I had finally eaten a fish from a loch, something I thought I would never do. As I said earlier, these hill lochs are something special and really have to be experienced to be fully appreciated. Try it sometime and you will see what I mean. The sun slowly sets over Glenackle as we get the barbecue lit for a farewell meal, and Nigel does what he does best.
Yeah, £6 from Lidl's.
Here's Adrian. He gave us some dodgy whiskey and got us drunk last night.
You remember? Wow, those just look absolutely fantastic. Look at that. Grab your fork stuff and then give me that plate because I'll need it too.
They're good?
Salt there if anybody's. There you go.
40 years of fishing. This is the first time I've sat down and ate brown trout. I've been catching them for over 40 years. And it's absolutely beautiful. This actually tastes better than haddock or cod.
Oh.
It's absolutely lovely. I'm converted.
Cool.
It makes it kind of finishes the cycle, you know, the cycle of sort of all the effort you go into and you catch him and all the trouble you go to actually work it out.
Well, these little trout are far tastier, eh?
Yeah,
Smaller ones are tastier than the big ones.
absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely right.
So put all your big trout back and take the little ones and eat them.
Yeah.
Fine with chips.
Lovely with chips. No monster fish this time around, but the company has been fantastic. And the location surely rates as one of the most beautiful places Scotland has to offer. I arrive at Loch Lochy as the sun was setting. It's such a nice evening I decide to give the boat a bit of a run before the next day's fishing. Lochy forms part of the Caledonian Canal. It is 10 miles in length by about 1 mile in breadth, and its greatest depth is 76 fathoms. Any type of fishing in Lochy is best done by boat, and these can be hired locally. There are many long stretches of the bank where suitability and access is limited or restricted to the angler on foot. There are areas where you can fish from the bank, but I prefer to fish from a boat because it really opens up this amazing loch and all it has to offer. In stark contrast to the clear night before, the following morning is dreek, as we say in Scotland. A cold damp mist shrouds most of the loch and surrounding hills. Straight away I'm catching fish, just a small one, but I'm glad that the fish are on the take. Maybe the next fish will be the big one.
See a big one. There's one. Just a little one. Just another little trout. I want the big ones. That one just come up to the fly there. That's it, it's on. Just a little tiny one. This little trout in this bay today. It's really good scrappers. I've got two on, that's the trouble. I thought I had a really good fish on there, but I've got two on. And the one on the bottom fly is actually the best trout. Would you believe it? No cuddy on. 100% waterproof. Guaranteed, better be. Or I'm getting my money back.
The crossing was a bit bumpy to say the least, so it was a relief to reach the other bank, which is more shelter from the wind.
Stay in the middle dropper. That's a nice trout. That's a lovely wild brown trout. Look at that, is that not beautiful? I would settle for catching them that size all day.
They say you meet the most interesting people in the most unexpected places, and it was here in the middle of Loch Lochy that I bumped into George, a local with 20 years Loch experience under his belt, who is more than willing to share his considerable knowledge of the area.
But in here, you need bushy flies.
I've got plenty of bushy flies.
You need bushy flies for the bob to attract them up. It's no, nah. Bushy. Things with big tails, with big. Can you see that one? See me for reason. See that now?
Oh, it's like a clan chief.
Well, that's actually a claret bumble, but it's got I tie the clan chief tail on them. And instead of having the blue, that's peacock breast. I use for that, for there, and it goes green in the water, and you should see that taking fish. There you are, take that. It's a shame. It's lifting now. You need it to lift off of there. If you get it to, if you can see Annick more, and if it lifts just a wee bit, brings them up. See here, see about here. Island. This is deep water here, but all the big fish sit out here waiting for night time to go in here and chase the sprats.
You've got the exact same seat as me.
Oh, you can't beat that.
Oh, brilliant! It's the exact same one as I've got.
That's a clamp. That's a strap one.
Oh, it looks the same as mine. I just clamped on.
Oh, you can't beat that. That's a great thing. I need that because I've got an artificial leg, so this is all I do is fish. Right, gentlemen, it's been nice meeting you.
I'm going to see you again this week.
Yes, George Spears is my name. So have fun, guys.
Bye.
See you later.
Cheers, mate.
As his engine conks out.
You're alright, I'll give you a tow.
What do you want about this? A good old engine, this.
Cheers, George. One of George's specials. You see, it's very, very seldom I get flies from people because I tie so many of my own, but he's a local guy and he's fished this loch for 20 years, so he knows a hell of a lot more about fly fishing on it than I'll do. If you meet somebody on a place who's a local and they've fished it for a few years, always follow their advice because they always know more. Oops, I just rose one there. There it is.
Another fish on, and this one is a beauty.
It's a nice brownie.
The kind of fish that makes the whole day worthwhile.
Oh, look at it go. Look at it take line. I just can't get its head up.
And it puts up a bit of a fight.
This is a lovely trout. God almighty. Beautiful wild brown trout. Oh, it's a beauty. It is a beauty. Look at that for a wild brown trout. Look at that. There's a cracker. Is that not absolutely beautiful? Fin perfect. Look at the fins in that. And it put up some fight. It's caught in my own fly actually. Got the one, black hackled one with the blue jay tied. Is that not perfection?
A lovely fish and a brilliant way to end the day. The weather the next morning is misty and mild, but the forecast is set to improve for later on in the day. Mike the pike Parker and his son Sean have arrived and we're soon out in the loch chasing our first fish of the day. Fly fishing is a great pastime for kids. Sean here is a real dab hand with a fly rod and he could probably put a lot of more mature anglers to shame.
You're going to get a fish, pal, before we get down here. Well done.
Nice.
Lovely casting.
It's not long before Sean has his first fish on.
Nice one, son. One, Shawnee. Let's have another one. Oh, Shawnee boy. You can see as well in this, when you get this strong wind at us, I'm not doing a high back cast as I normally do, because the wind's really powerful up there, so just get my rod to the side and I just, same principle as a high back cast, and just out, keeps the fly line low out of the wind. Yes, well done, Mike. That's a better trout, mate.
Another fish, Mike this time. This is his first catch of the day, but it won't be his last.
I think it's tamed that orange one. It's tamed the orange fly that one that George told us was good here.
Once again, we seem to be having loads of luck with the smaller fish. But just can't entice anything over £1 to take. Bent out of the blue, bang.
It's a big sea trout. It's an absolute cracker. It's going to be a while before this one's played out. Wish I'd brought the bigger net with me. It's not a big escaped rainbow, is it? Wow, look at it go, look at it go. It's a big, well, if it is a rainbow, it's a cracker. It's a rainbow trout. I thought I was into a sea trout or a salmon here. It's just a very well mended escaped rainbow, farm rainbow. But it's a beauty. It must be in the £4 or £5 region anyway. It's got to be the way it's fighting. I don't want to put too much pressure on it because I say I've got that heavier leader on. Well, it's a escaped rainbow. If it gets off, it gets off. I'm not worried about that. If it was a sea trout now, I'd be a bit more canny with it.
Okay, so it wasn't a wild brown trout, but it was a nice fish all the same. It had been in the water for a while, long enough for its fins and tail to repair themselves.
Now that was a good scrap, that, wasn't it? Got a big long leader on as well. That's a bit had it now though. This one's coming out and it's staying out because we don't put rainbows back.
It had become leaner, faster and hungrier, and probably was as wild a rainbow trout as you're ever going to catch in Loch Lochy.
Mike, you want to land it for me? Oh, hang on, I'll get it. You can see the difference. This one's been in the water for quite a while. You can see where the fins have been well mended. And the tail, rather than all being rotted away, it's got quite a good tail on it. That's why it put up such a good fight. It's also a lot slimmer because it's not been getting fed in the cages any longer. So it's had to hunt for its food. That's why it put up such a good scrap. Lovely fish. But I never put rainbow trout back in a brown trout fishery. As I say, this is a wild loch and these things don't belong here. So I get them, I take them out. As I say, I'm not a lover of fishing for rainbow trout, and I don't like escape fishing in a brown trout loch, but the fight that gave me there was just superb. Fantastic. I must admit, I thought I was into a grouse or a decent sea trout to start with, because I just seen, when it took me, I just seen the flash of silver taking the fly. But then after about 5 minutes, when I got a good look at it, I could see it was a rainbow, a really well mended rainbow trout. If that had been a brown trout, that would just have made my whole week.
Mike manages to bag the last fish of the day, a fish that brings with it a few surprises.
Well done, that's a good one, is it?
One of the best ones so far.
That's a good one.
That's the fighting hard like
That's a brownie.
Take that. I'll take it.
Take that for the pot as well, Mike.
Aye. Your fingers out
Yeah,
the
I know.
shot.
Yeah.
It's big enough.
Your fingers.
Here's a wee one. Just looking at it. So you can give it the last strikes.
Take a look. Take a look at it. Just hold it. Just hold it up for the camera if you can. Get it in a light. That's it.
You've got a small that one, you can put it back. You've got another one, Mike.
I've got another in on.
You've got two on.
I've got 2 on. No, I've got 3 on.
You're joking.
No, you got 3. Well, I'll put this one back.
I put it back, got him in the film. You get 3 on at the same time.
Aye.
Here, there. You can dangle in there for a sec.
That's a first for me now, eh?
3 trout.
3 trout on. There.
Free fish and free flies, a first for Mike, and an excellent way to bring this trip to a close. Well, almost. Nigel has invited me onto a small private hill loch near where he lives, and if I was passing on my way home, I'd be more than welcome to join him for the day. There's one thing I never do, and that is to pass up an invitation to fish.
The water's quite peaty. That's good. That's nice. Well, that's a lovely trout. Beautiful. I'd say it's about a pound in weight. It's absolutely beautiful condition, fat, lovely tail, lovely fins. I'm unfamiliar with this place, as I say. I'm on here, there's another one. See, when you're talking and not paying attention, this fish comes up. It's just that I was ready for that one. Sod's law, I was lucky I got it. This one's slightly larger than the last one, a bit longer. Well, but the same size really. Absolutely, prime condition.
First thing in the morning.
Couldn't get a nicer day for it.
Beautiful. Not as cold as I expected.
As you can hear it taking line. You're a quick learner. Lovely fish. This is a better trout. Oh, look at that, fantastic. Very swampy. Forget it, it's like a marsh here. I'm not wading out there, no way. Maybe never see me again.
I've really enjoyed this trip. These past few days have been a tonic. Fly fishing is one of the most relaxing pursuits I can think of. And fly fishing Scotland's wilderness really takes that sense of well-being to the next level.
Oh, that was a cracker went to me. There it is. Yes. Oh, there's trout rising here, Nigel, all over the place. The other one was out there. You see it? And guess what fly it's taken again? You've got it. The old jungle claret. Oh, you beauty. Come to your Uncle Scott. I just wait till I wet my hands so I don't damage you, you beautiful little thing. Stop splashing about to release you.
And as I catch my last fish of the trip, I am already planning my next outing.
Jungle claret again. Some boy, the old jungle claret, I'll tell you.
It can't come too quickly. Tight lines till next time.